So it seems like everybody is hating
Obi-Wan.
So it's really sad for me to say this, but it does seem like most of the Star Wars fandom, including myself, are just not fans of this Obi-Wan Kenobi show. It's honestly a disgrace. You know, for the longest time, I've been saying that if this Obi-Wan show isn't good, I have to walk away from Star Wars because this is the only thing that I have left to look forward to. And 3 episodes in, we're halfway through the show, and it's not good. You know, I really don't like it. I don't really care what anyone else's opinion is about the show, to be honest, and I don't care what your opinion is about my opinion either. But it seems like a lot of people agree with me, man. And a lot of people who are, you know, close to me, friends to me, and not friends to me, who I know really wanted to like this show, are just not able to like this show. I would say most of the Star Wars fandom, according to the reviews, according to the IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, according to people on Twitter, most of the Star Wars fandom is not a huge fan of this show. Some people out there are really loving it. I say a small group of people out there are really loving it. Most people are kind of just like, I'm not liking this so far. Episodes 1 through 3 are not very good. We'll wait and see. And then there's a lot of people also, like myself, which have already been burned by Book of Boba Fett. I've already been burned by The Rise of Skywalker. Been burned too many times by Disney Star Wars, where we're like, all right, we're halfway through this show, which was supposed to be kind of like the pinnacle of Disney Star Wars for me and for a lot of other people. We're halfway through this show that we've been looking forward to ever since Revenge of the Sith ended. You know, we've been looking forward to some sort of content in this time period forever. We're finally here. We're halfway through, and the show sucks so far. So I'm just kind of, you know, checked out. I'm just like, you know what? I came back to Star Wars because I checked out 6 months ago after the Book of Boba Fett. I was like, I'm done with this IP. It's dead. And I came back with some sort of hope, a glint of hope, and this just crushed every single ounce of hope that I had left is gone now. Here's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So far, Obi-Wan Kenobi has an 87% critic score, which who cares? You know, the critics just love everything, and then randomly they'll just hate something that everyone else loves. They're always off. Every single time they're off. The critics don't know anything. And 58% audience score, which is really, really bad. And if you don't quite understand how bad a 58% audience score is, the Book of Boba Fett has a 59% audience score. That's crazy. That's crazy that those two are even in the same sentence. That's crazy that the Book of Boba Fett has a higher audience score than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like I said, this was supposed to be the pinnacle of Star Wars, or Disney Star Wars at least. This is something that so many fans have been looking forward to. For 20 years, we've been looking forward to this, including myself. I'm a prequel fan over everything. This was supposed to be the series. This was supposed to be the love letter, the thank you to the Star Wars prequel fans, because we really didn't get much outside of this. We got little. Every single time, you know, they would have a prequel reference, we would all go crazy because everybody, or a lot of people, love the prequels so much. Definitely not everybody. You know, a lot of people out there hate the prequels, but this was supposed to be our show, the prequel fan show, and it's not. And you know, somebody left a review. I might bring it up in this video. We'll see. Somebody left a review on Kenobi. I don't think it was on Rotten Tomatoes. We will go into these reviews, a couple of these reviews. Somebody left a review and said this is a show that's marketed towards 30 and 40-year-olds and made for 8-year-olds. And that's 100% true. That's the bait and switch that Disney Star Wars, that's not the specific bait and switch, but their bait and switch tactics have been used so many times, and it's used once again. This time kind of for, you know, the ages. It's made for 30 and 40-year-olds and 15-year-olds. And it's, you know, it's marketed towards those people, and it's made for little kids. It's made for 8-year-olds. And I'm not saying that there's not, you know, adult content in the show. There obviously is. You know, a stormtrooper got, you know, his body dismembered completely, and they showed the entire thing on screen, which is surprising because even in The Mandalorian, when someone got cut in half by the door, they didn't show it on the screen. But, you know, a stormtrooper got cut in half. Darth Vader snapped the kid's neck. You know, it definitely has some adult moments in it, but it's not for adults. You know, it's a show made for 8-year-olds. That's 100% true. Let's check out some of these Rotten Tomatoes reviews. This show is so stupid, it ruins Obi-Wan's character and ruins previous canon for Star Wars. It definitely does contradict a lot of the canon from Star Wars. That's not my main complaint, though. I've been saying for the longest time that I don't care if they break canon. If they make a good Obi-Wan show where Obi-Wan and Darth Vader get to face off again, I get to see Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor on screen again, break the canon. Go ahead and break the canon, because it's not really breaking canon. that Obi-Wan and Vader meet again, it's only breaking your assumed headcanon. I've been saying that for the longest time. He never says a specific time when the last time they met was. All he said was, it's a presence I haven't felt since ... He doesn't finish the sentence, so it's only your headcanon that you're assuming they haven't met since Revenge of the Sith. Now, there's a lot of other things that break canon as well in this show, but like I said, if they would have made this show really good, and you can tell that there was a lot of heart and soul put into the show, it wouldn't have bothered me. What bothers me is the poor writing, and they just lack passion for Star Wars. The lack of passion for Star Wars is really what gets to me. This is absolutely terrible. I agree. Poorly directed, edited, written, and casted. Definitely poorly casted when it comes to Reva. I'm surprised this guy gave it 2.5 stars after saying that. There's also some positive reviews as well. Of course, there's going to be positive reviews. I'm not saying that every single person in the world hates this show. It just seems like the general consensus out there is either I absolutely despise this show, this breaks canon, this goes against everything that I love as Star Wars, or it's, we're 3 episodes in, not a big fan so far, but let's wait and see what happens for the rest of the show. There's not a lot of people out there that are just loving this show like there are for, even the sequel trilogy had a lot of people out there that were just absolutely loving the sequel trilogy. And that's just not the case here. People aren't out here saying how much they love this show as much as other Star Wars content, as much as other people are saying how much they hate this show. David N says, Disney Star Wars, I don't think there's any more to be said. Consume content, bigot. Exactly. That's the vibe that it gives off, man. It's like, if you try to criticize, and I know that they didn't say if you criticize this character, you are a racist. I know they didn't say that. It's just the implication, and if you don't agree with me, it is what it is. But that's what it feels like. It feels like they got ahead of the criticism for this Reva character, not because she's a minority, because there's a lot of other minorities in the show that they didn't get in front of the criticism for. I'm sure they didn't brief every single minority in the show that racism was going to be coming their way. They did it for Reva because they knew that she was a poorly written character, a poorly casted character, and honestly, a poorly acted character. I don't agree. Don't attack the actress. Don't even DM the actress your criticisms. Don't do that. That's stupid. Especially don't do it, with racial themes. Like, why are you going to be racist towards someone? What is the purpose? What are you trying to achieve by doing that? Don't do that. Definitely not attacking the actress in any sort of way. I think you should be criticizing the writers, if anything. The writers are the problem. The showrunners are the problem whenever this type of stuff happens. So yeah, I definitely think that they were trying to get ahead of the backlash because they knew how bad the show was going to be. Let's go ahead and check out the IMDb score real quick. I believe it's 7.9. So 7.9, not too great for IMDb. It's not horrible, but it's not too good for IMDb. A lot of people that I know would see a 7.9 score and just go ahead and not give it a shot. Not saying for Kenobi, but just for, in general, a movie or a show with a 7.9 score, they're probably just going to move on to a different one. Check out some of the reviews real quick. But the chase scene in episode 1, one of the worst chase scenes ever. Here is the one that I was talking about. A show 30-year-olds wanted, made for 8-year-olds. Uneven tone and acting. The acting has been really bad. Other than Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor has really put his all into the show, and he's killing it. He's keeping the show above water. The writers and the directors don't get Star Wars. I would say even more. Not only do they not get Star Wars, but they don't have any passion. They don't have any want to get Star Wars. They're not Star Wars fans. Can we start buying back some of these IPs from Disney? I really wish we could, man. Cheaply made, badly written, laughable effort. The writing and directing is so bad. Yeah, I agree. Very cheap. Feels like a cheap fan film with no passion behind it at all. I agree 100% with that. Also, of course this is happening already. Of course we're already going down this route. Obi-Wan gets review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes, just like, I don't know, Santa Inc. got review bombed, right? Just like Everything's Gonna Be All White got review bombed, just like the Book of Boba Fett got review bombed, just like all these really trash shows can't just be trash shows. It's impossible for Disney. It's impossible for any of these bigger corporations to make a bad show. It's impossible. The only solution, the only explanation is that it's being review bombed. That's the only explanation to these people. It's crazy. It's so crazy to me how predictable these people are. Every single time they make bad content, it's just review bomb. It's actually not that bad. It's actually pretty perfect if you think about it. It's just people review bombing it. I'm sure they blame it on. I'm not even going to read the article. What's the point? What is the point in reading the article? We already know what it's going to say. Istaphobe this, istaphobe that, racist this, Reva that. it's so predictable what they're going to say in this article. I don't care anymore. I can't make myself care anymore about reading this. It's just nonsense. You know, they're trying to get on Disney's good side, and it's very obvious. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about the whole situation. What do you think about the Rotten Tomatoes score for Kenobi? What do you think about, you know, the show of Kenobi itself? Let me know what you guys think about the whole situation in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the links to that will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope to see you on the next one.